Oh, the story train is coming, I can hear choo choo. Oh, the story train is coming, I can hear choo choo. Oh, the story train is coming, the story train is coming, the story train is coming, I can hear choo choo. Welcome back to Storytime, everybody. My name is Alicia, and welcome to Storytime with the New Westminster Public Library. Today, we are going to be reading some books about my favorite animal, which is the dog. So first, we're going to stand up and do a little wiggle and a little stretch so that we get all of our sillies out before we start reading. And then we're going to read some doggy books. So everyone, stand up. And here we go. I'm going to get you to reach your hands up in the air, up, 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 up. And down, 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 down. And turn around. Touch the sky, up, 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 up. And touch the ground, down, down, down. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And wiggle your toes, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle your shoulders, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And wave hello, hello. We're going to do it one more time, all together, a little faster, and we're going to sing. Up, down, turn around, touch the sky and touch the ground. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wiggle your shoulders and wave hello, 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 hello. All right, if you need to do it a couple more times to get all of your wiggles out, go ahead, and then we're going to read our book. Our first book is one of my favorite dog books. You can see it has my name on it. It says Staff Picks. That means I really like it. So when you're at the library and you're looking for good books, you can look for stickers like this that say which librarian really likes this book. And this book is called Oh No, George by Chris Houghton. And this book is about a dog named George who has a little bit of a hard time with self-control. I think we can all relate to George sometimes. And here he is. Oh no, George. And here's George's friend Harry. Harry is going out. Will you be good, George? Asks Harry. Yes, says George. I'll be very good. Do you think George is going to be good? I hope I'll be good, George thinks. George sees something in the kitchen. Oh, it's cake. I said I'd be good, George thinks. But I love cake. What will George do? What do you think? Oh no, George! Look at him taking a big bite out of that cake. Uh-oh. What has George seen now? It's Cat. Oh, I said I'd be good, George thinks, but I love to play with Cat. What will George do? Oh no, George! Oh, look, he's chasing the cat. Oh no, George. What has George seen now? Some beautiful flowers, and those flowers are sitting in some lovely dirt. Ooh, I said I'd be good, George thinks, but I love to dig in dirt. What will George do? I think you guys know already. Oh Oh no, George! Oh, he starts digging in the dirt. But look, Harry's back. Hello, Harry, great to see you. And Harry says, George, what have you done? You've ruined the place, and how on earth did you eat a whole cake? Uh-oh, I think George is in trouble. I said I'd be good, George thinks. I hoped I'd be good, but I wasn't. What will George do? I'm sorry, George says. I want to give you my favorite toy. Thank you, George, says Harry. Why don't we go for a nice walk? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, great. George loves to go out. There are so many things to see and do. Uh-oh. George has seen a cake. Will he eat it? What do you think? No. George walks straight past. Well done, George. Next, George sees some lovely dirt. Will he have a little dig? No. Well done, George. George doesn't even try to play with Cat. Even Cat is a bit surprised. But now, look, something smells very interesting. What could it be? It's a trash can. Look. It's a trash can. There's nothing George likes more than digging in trash. What will George do? George? And that's the end. What do you think George does? You'll have to make it up yourself because that's where the book ends. And that is Oh no, George. And on the back of the book, we have Harry and George having a nice big hug. All right, we're going to sing a song now about a dog. You might know it already, and it's all about a dog named Bingo. And we're going to be doing a little bit of clapping and a little bit of counting too. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. And now we're going to remove one of the letters. Oh, there goes the B. And when we sing, we're going to clap instead of saying B. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, I'm going to take off another letter. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, taking one more letter. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, take out. Now we've only got one letter left. Which one is it? Oh. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. Now we're going to remove all the letters, just clapping now. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. And Bingo was his name. Oh. All right, now we're going to do a rhyme about a dog, and this one is going to let us move around a little bit. So you can either stand up or you can stay sitting down, and we're going to pretend to be dogs digging in the dirt. Are you ready? I have a little dog. His paws are really big. Get out your paws. And when he goes outside, he likes to dig and dig and dig. He drops his bone into the hole and covers it with a snap. Then he puts one paw on the other and lies down to take a nap. And you can lie down on the floor and take a little dog nap. Shall we do that one more time all together? You ready? I have a little dog and his paws are really big. And when he goes outside, he likes to dig and dig and dig. He drops his bone into the hole and covers it with a snap. Then he puts one paw on the other and lies down to take a nap. Here we go. All right. Are you ready for our second story? This one is a very cute story about a dog and an old man. And the thing about this dog is, well, he's a very special dog and very different from other dogs. And I think you'll find out as soon as we open up this book. It's called Floaty. And you can see it has a staff pick sticker too. So remember when you're at the library, if you see that, it means it's a really good one. And this book is by John Himmelman, and he both wrote the book and he drew the illustrations for this. Floaty. And the book starts not with Floaty himself, but with our old man, Mr. Raisin. Mr. Raisin lived alone in a little house. Inside that little house, he loved to sew. Mr. Raisin didn't like anything else, only sewing. One morning, he found a basket at his front door. It had a note attached that read, "All yours, too much trouble, good luck." What do you think is in the basket? Mr. Raisin brought the basket inside. It was empty. Oh, was it really empty? He's looking inside, but what do you see up there? Is that the dog? Woof, said something from above. Mr. Raisin looked up. A puppy was stuck to the ceiling. Well, now you see why he's named Floaty. Get down from there, shouted Mr. Raisin. He nudged the dog with his broom. The dog slid across the ceiling and into the other room. Mr. Raisin climbed a chair and he grabbed the dog. "Outside with you," he said. He opened the door and he was about to let the dog go, but he stopped. "You'll just float away, won't you?" Mr. Raisin brought the dog inside. He didn't want to let him float up into the sky all the way to space. "This doesn't mean you're staying," he said to the dog, "but I guess dogs need to eat, even annoying ceiling dogs." He put a bowl of cornflakes on the floor. "Woof," said the dog from the ceiling. "Oh, you can't come down." Mr. Raisin tossed the cornflakes one at a time into the air so that the dog could grab them. You probably need water too," he said. What's he got there? He's got the hose. The dog floated to the front door. "Woof," he barked. "Blah," complained Mr. Raisin. "I have to take you for a walk, too?" Here he is. He puts a leash on Floaty and, well, you can see how that's turning out. "Funny balloon," said his neighbor, Agnes Withers. "It's not a balloon, it's a dog," barked Mr. Raisin. "Your kite needs a longer tail," said Mr. Poots. "It's not a kite, a dog," grunted Mr. Raisin. "There goes nutty Mr. Raisin," said Mrs. Stringle. "Blah," said Mr. Raisin. He went back inside. Mr. Raisin wasn't used to having company, but the dog stayed out of his way, most of the time. At night, he was a terrible blanket hog. Look at him floating up with the blankets. But as time went by, Mr. Raisin thought less and less about getting rid of the dog. "I guess you'll need a name," he said. "I will call you Floaty." Mr. Raisin chuckled at the silly name. He hardly ever chuckled. One morning when they were out for a walk, the leash snapped. Oh no! And Floaty started floating away. Oh no, what's Mr. Raisin gonna do? As Floaty disappeared into the clouds, Mr. Raisin realized how much he loved that dog. Floaty floated for days and nights. And back at home, Mr. Raisin sent up balloons carrying food in case the dog floated by. The food never found Floaty, but he didn't go hungry. What's he doing? Floating by and eating a pizza right out of the box. Mr. Raisin moved to his roof. He searched the skies day and night for his dog, but Floaty floated farther and farther away. Mr. Raisin climbed down from the roof. Mr. Raisin climbed down from the roof. Meanwhile, Floaty dreamed about home. Mr. Raisin sat in his chair and sewed. What do you think he's sewing? One night a big storm came along. Lightning and thunder exploded all around Floaty. Oh no! Just then a voice called from overhead. "Up here! Up here, Floaty! It's Mr. Raisin in a big balloon." That's what he was sewing. Mr. Raisin lowered his freshly sewn hot air balloon and scooped up his dog. "Blah," he said. "You're not too much trouble. You're just the right amount of trouble." The end. And I bet they lived happily ever after. That's Floaty. The story of Floaty the unusual dog and Mr. Raisin. That's all for us for today. I hope you enjoyed those dog stories. And if you have a dog, maybe try reading to them. I think they really like that. We'll see you again next week, hopefully. And have a good week. Bye. Oh, the goodbye train is going, see you soon, choo choo. Oh, the goodbye train is going, see you soon, choo choo. Oh, the goodbye train is going, the goodbye train is going, the goodbye train is going, see you soon, choo choo.